I want to fight him, bro, because he been tricking the boxing game for too long. He been tricking the boxing game for too long. He makes look good. He makes look better than what it is. Resume what? What kind of resume he got? He don't got no resume, man. He don't got no Ray Leonard on his resume. He don't got no Marvin Hagler. He don't got no real deal fighters like that on his. He got fights we all knew he was gonna win, man. He got fights he all knew we was gonna win, man. I'm not trying to hear that. I'm not trying to hear none of that.
We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live, Boxing Ego unpack. Yeah. We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live. Now, I know I'm the best in the business, and it's not even close. But your boy Ego was right again. Gervonta Tank Davis been telling y'all Gervonta Davis is in the right. In this video, I'm going to break it down what I'm talking about. In lieu of Keyshawn Davis missing weight, Ryan Garcia last year missed weight, eerily similar. And I'm going to break down all these facts and let y'all know what it is. Whoa, what's up? So, Ego thoughts. I told you I'm getting back to the basics and things I want to talk about. I don't care what writers are writing about. I don't care what other YouTubers are doing. I'm talking real boxing. Pensacola, we talk tonight. I want to talk about what Ego want to talk about. So, Ego thoughts, rock with me. Now, I was just thinking about it, right? Because Gervonta Davis has been right all along. Your boy Ego has been right all along. And I told y'all better hope, y'all better pray that I didn't get nothing right for the rest of the year, because each time I do, I'm going to rub it in. Here's why. Now, normally I wouldn't even do this, but I got to make an exception. The reason I got to rub it in your face, it's like a puppy. If a puppy, you get home from work, you done had a long day, the puppy done chewed the welcome mat, he done chewed through your shoes, he done chewed up the carpet and the couch, he done peed on the rug. You gotta take that puppy to these various messes is made in the urine, and you gotta put their nose right by the urine. That's what I'm doing to y'all. I'm spanking y'all, right? Because I'm an online content creator. So I always got a lot of support, me being who I am and being in the game so long. But there are some people who try to hate and resist the messaging, the resistance, I call them, old media, right? And that's just what it is. So again, y'all gotta rock with me. If I'm right, I'm right. You're gonna get my credit. Now, I've given Gervonta Davis credit for what he deserves credit for. And I've been saying it. Gervonta Davis is who these other fighters want to be. And I said this, and some people act like this was some crazy, statement to make, but you see it. Let's talk about these weight misses, right? Gervonta Davis, in his, I'm just going to say, basically his weight class, in or around his weight class, he is really the guy of note with a name that is truly fighting in his appropriate weight class. Let me say it again. His appropriate weight class. Like, he's a natural lightweight. These other dudes are walking around way heavier, and they're big, and they're crunching down to these little weight classes. And if you watch my channel, I've been on this. I've been telling y'all that. And now we're seeing it. You have fights that were decent profile fights, Devin Haney versus Ryan Garcia, and now Keyshawn Davis. So these guys are people in that conversation in or around 135, 140 range where Tank fights, right? And then you got Keyshawn, who missed weight by 4.3 pounds, and Ryan, who I think it was the same exact weight. They both weighed in over 4 pounds, right? Which lets me know a deeper problem. These Gen Zers, they're not fighting in their real weight class, and they're crunching down and staying in the lighter divisions too long. And it's funny because Keyshawn was like, Tank, he's been tricking the boxing game for too long.
I want to fight him, bro, because he been tricking the boxing game for too long.
So let's talk about too long. You've been hanging out at the wrong weight class for too long. You've been crunching down in weight for too long. Let's talk about that. Talk about Danny, champ of the world, right? Nobody wants to talk about this. So leave it to your boy Ego Thoughts, where I really get off on y'all, right? And that's the reality of it. Ryan can't make the weight. He got one over on Devin Haney. Now, I will say this, and this is the beauty of Ego Thoughts. I could be scatterbrained, talk about everything. Ryan, with the weight, he made the mistake. He made the first mistake. It's unprofessional to miss weight. Where Devin and Bill messed up, and I stand on this, where they messed up is agreeing to take money and not do no rehydration clause or anything the next day. That's dumb. That's a foolish mistake, and they were made to pay. And then on top of that, Ryan popped dirty, that's a whole separate video. But you took the money. Edwin De Los Santos' team got a great team. They did what was right. Sampson said, that's the Edwin De Los Santos' promoter. He said he seen Keyshawn Davis. He was unapologetic, like he did it on purpose, and he missed weight by that much. And he said he was on the scale dancing. So I'm sure Sampson, being the seasoned professional, he's seen that dancing, and he like, oh heck nah, this man dancing and jovial, like that sounds like a setup. My fighter got to drain himself to make weight and make the sacrifice and not be on full energy, but then he sitting up here dancing like, I got him. Like, nah, we pulling our fighter. It's the right move. So Devin Haney and Bill Haney, in my opinion, should have done that with Ryan Garcia. Is it a disappointment? Yeah. But then look at Devin's career after the Ryan Garcia fight. Totally different than the trajectory he was on. So I don't care about disappointing some stupid crowd. Like, I'm not trying, that's kind of mean. I don't mean to call him stupid, but all right, don't disappoint 15, 10,000 people, 16,000 people, and they get cooked like Devin Haney got cooked versus Ryan Garcia in that left hook. And then what? Now your career's in shambles. You had to file a lawsuit. Your whole rep took a major hit. You know what I mean? So anyway, I don't want to get too sidetracked, but the bottom line is Tank Davis, he was right. Boxing Ego was right. Another thing he was right about, on top of being a fighter who fights at his natural weight class, when he put Ryan Garcia on a rehydration clause, you had the Haneys and the Haneyacks and fans that hate Tank Davis. They were like, oh, how could he? Rehydration clause is ridiculous. It's not a real fight. Blase blah. But then you seen how when another team who wasn't smart enough to put that and put these little provisions, safety provisions, so people couldn't abuse the rules, like the Haneys, you seen how Ryan did them. Oh, I came in heavy on purpose. Ha, ha, ha. You know, and he was laughing, doing exactly what Keyshawn was doing with Edwin De Los Santos. So, again, it's hard to argue that Tank and his team are foolish or they're wrong when, in actuality, it's these protections from an experienced team that keep you from getting got. Like, it's a boxing. Boxing's already a hard, I don't know why I said it like Mario brother. It's a boxing. It's a me, Mario. Yahoo! I don't know why I said it like that. Yahoo! It's a boxing. But anyway, it's boxing. It's already rough. It's grueling. You know, you have a certain window to get in and do what you got to do. So why make your job harder, especially when you're an A-side? Canelo would never give anybody a lever. He won't even fight David Benavidez. He won't even give him the opportunity. You know what I mean? Let alone the guys he is fighting, he ain't giving them nothing. He ain't giving Crawford, oh, I'm going to come down to 160 to make it comfortable for you. You know what I mean? So Tank Davis, Boxing Ego, absolutely right. Tank Davis team was smart enough to know Ryan was gonna probably try to cheat the scales. He's too big for the division. So we gonna stifle that. We're gonna prevent you from doing too much, which is what he later would do. And then Keyshawn Davis, that's another person who has been calling out Tank Davis. And I told you he was big. I told you all this on my channel because I'm the scholar of boxing. And you've been doing all this wolfing, calling out Tank Davis. And then look, you can't even make weight. You're talking about, I got to move up to 140. You see how these dudes do? They use Tank's name and then they really can't make the weight, right? At one point after the Haney fight, Ryan Garcia was talking about he wanted a Tank rematch, but then he was saying in similar interviews that he can't go lower than 145. Bro, Tank already whooped you, knocked you out. You failed a drug test. You don't get to dictate the weight. You see how boxing people try to set you up. They want you to concede and give up the leverage that you have to appease them. And it's just like Errol Spence. That's my guy. Shout out to EJ. But he made a mistake. He gave Crawford too much. He gave him the farm. Crawford is a great fighter, but he didn't deserve a coin flip and more money and all this extra stuff being the position he was in at that time. He did not have the leverage. This is what happens when you try to play a nice guy in boxing. You know, oh, I'm going to be nice and it's a gentleman's sport. Yeah, but what happens if the other person's not acting like a gentleman? You know what I mean? It's like you want to have a fair knife fight and then the person whip out a gun and shoot you. Then you're dumb. You know what I mean? If you had a gun too, you better up the stick too. You know what I mean? Sometimes you got to fight fire with fire. So that's the reality of it. And I've been trying to tell y'all that this is how the game is and you got to play the game, especially when you have worked hard to get into that A-side position like a Gervonta Davis. So everything I said, the way Tank's moved, the way his team has moved him is starting to make a whole lot of sense. Even Frank Martin, you know, that's another Tank opponent. Frank Martin looked crazy on the scale and he looked all big and brolic and muscular. And now he's up at 140. Can't make weight no more. You know what I mean? So these dudes are big and they were trying to fight Tank. All these guys saying they want to fight Tank and hurt Tank and knock him out and stuff like that. And they're not willing to make the disciplined sacrifice to do it the right way. So to me, that shows that Tank is formidable and real if people try to get over on you with the weight. All these dudes are trying to get over with the weight. They know they're bigger than Tank and they're trying to maximize that advantage of being bigger than Tank and being bigger than him at all costs. Like coming down to weight at the last minute and doing these crazy drops. I didn't even, in this video, I ain't even start talking about Devin Haney. He's another person. Devin Haney's had these miracle balloon ups overnight where Devin Haney gaining 25 plus pounds. Another person that been calling out Tank. So this is why I love my job. I love being an online content creator because everything that I say is recorded. I can't communicate with you guys unless I hit record. So being that that's the case, I gotta get on the mic, arm the mic and hit record. Then everything's on the record, right? Everything I say. So you can always rewind the tape and picture me rolling and go back to what I said and when I said it and how I said it and then see if it adds up. And it keeps showing you that I'm the best in the business and it's not even close. There's a lot of content creators that want to do what I do, but they don't do it like me. You know what I mean? Their prediction's always wrong. Their insight or their analysis is always wrong. You know, they have clear-cut biases. I don't have no bias against no fighter. I ain't mad at no fighter, right? I just call it how I see. These dudes hating Tank and saying, oh, this don't make sense. Why would he put Ryan on the rehydration clause? And then probably like a year after the Tank fight, Ryan can't make weight and then pull the wool over Devin and Bill Haney's eyes. Keyshawn been woofing, calling out a guy like Tank. Now he can't make weight. He tried to get one over on Edwin De Los Santos. The biggest name and biggest puncher he was to fight, right? You have Devin Haney. He was snack gym and gaining 25 pounds and all this stuff overnight. Now he's fighting at catch weight. Now he's basically a welterweight, but fighting at catch weight. All these dudes with the weight, study why I would be mad. Study everything I said, and then mix what I said in the past versus now, and I guarantee you it'll check out. Live streaming can be tough, which is why I use StreamYard. Click the link in the description for StreamYard, which is an awesome tool that enables you to set up your stream with ease of use. Get great results with live streaming. It's what I use. Stream to social media with ease with StreamYard. Live streaming is here to stay. Engage with your audience using StreamYard. Great way to reach out to your audience and connect. So you need a tool that can do that. If you're new to YouTube and you're struggling to get views, one tool I can provide to you is TubeBuddy. I've been on YouTube over 10 years. I use TubeBuddy daily to crank out videos just like this one that you're watching. Learn how the pros do it with TubeBuddy. YouTube receives a lot of traffic, which also means a lot of creators, a lot of people putting out content. So you need to learn the ropes so you know how to separate yourself, especially if you're new, but even if you're a pro, use TubeBuddy. The link is in the description. Get more views, more subscribers, and a higher click-through rate, so ultimately you can realize all of your online goals. Use my affiliate link in the description and grow your channel fast.